We've now roped in a psychologist and anti-apartheid activist, Professor Saths Cooper. Prof, a very good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for your time. I mean, just give us a sense then, Prof, in terms of your observations in this case. I mean, when we heard from Advocate Matthew Chaskelson on behalf of the family saying that the applicants have a right to have this case determined while they are still alive. Just so many, of course, families pinning their hopes for some form of outcome.
I think that the family's representation thus far is on track with what our law provides for. Justice delayed is justice denied, and that's what's been happening to these families who have had to battle on for 4 administrations since the Mandela administration received the first report of the TRC. Clearly, the state can't continue in this manner. When President Ramaphosa intervened to stop the state attorneys and others from responding and defending the application, I thought, here's a president who is doing something that is going to see justice done. But now it seems that this is being pended with the Commission of Inquiry, which is connected but is quite distinct in the issue of political interference. It's also interesting that former President Mbeki brought a similar application, but to have himself and the Minister of Justice at the time brought in their own rights to defend themselves. So whatever these unfortunate families confront, it seems heads of states are interfering at levels that they ought not to. And the issue of justice being so weak in our country, where we don't care about families who have experienced these things. Dorothy Kalata is 50 years old. Her brother, I saw in a terrible situation where he revealed what had happened to him. And I know that the youngest sister was born after her or simultaneously with her father being killed. Now, I know the parents of this particular case because 3 of them were in detention with me in 1984. And soon after, this horror happened. Now, we need closure as a country. Yeah. Can you imagine how much more it affects these children who in turn have children and the damage caused to them? It's intergenerational trauma that we're seeing in front of our eyes. Surely the quality of justice should be tempered with what is right, what is socially just, and the mercy to not put people through the ringer again. Heads of state have interfered here and abroad to stay prosecutions. So the suspicion is that there's something else afoot. Why on earth should this court that is looking at damages not be competent to look at those factors that a Commission of Inquiry is looking at? The Commission of Inquiry is exactly that. It's a quasi-judicial process. And should there be other factors, surely the damages claim can be enhanced. But these families, and I know that certain of the widows died themselves during the last couple of years. Now, this cannot continue to happen. These families deserve to have closure. The people who know them deserve to have closure. We're a wounded society. Let not these families remain wounded. Let us look at it in the spirit of humanity and doing what is right rather than denying them. This also happened with the COSAS trial. It's happened with so many cases recently. Thankfully, our judiciary has granted all these families the right to take these matters up power should not intervene for the last time when this application is now seeing the light of day in court. Let the facts emerge. If there's a hidden conspiracy, let those emerge. The quasi-judicial process, we know, is throwing money at processes that are intended to delay and very little action. Look at the Zondo Commission. Judge Zondo came out a couple of weeks ago saying he's totally disappointed with the way our country has dealt with those issues. So people are getting away with impunity. They ought not to. And the fear, the resultant fear amongst the rest of us, the lack of trust in our judiciary, the trust deficit in leadership is glaring. So it's about time that our courts exercised their judgment appropriately in favor of the worst amongst us. How we treat those who don't have access to justice, and fortunately, these families are now coming forward. How we treat that underpins our own claim to being human in our society.
Prof, thank you so much for your analysis. Really do appreciate it. That is a psychologist and anti-apartheid activist, Professor Saths Cooper.